What the hell is going on here? Jesus, man. I wouldn't want me to call the fire department, man.
Mushino. I wanted to make this the baddest of the bad in all my films, being part of this trilogy previously being Return of Godzilla, and I can definitely say that this is a massive step in anything I've ever accomplished in filmmaking. Was it worth the wait? I mean, is this the pinnacle of figure movies?
Raphael has always been really good at set design. Now I know Raph wants to become a film director, but let's say that doesn't work out. He can always become a production designer because he really knows how to set scenes and he really knows how to build the atmosphere.
People say that this is a fan film. This is not a fan film, this is original. Kajil paid a lot of attention to detail. He wanted to make this his best movie ever, so he tried his hardest and he did a really good job.
And I think that's one of the great qualities about his films. And with this one, it's no different. You know, he makes these really, almost elaborate sets. I would say the scale, it feels bigger than his other films.
We're gonna spray paint this beast. What is up, guys? This is Kaijuzul 621. This is the official first day of production. This is the 20th day. This is the top of the head. It looks weird of making Mushino, the puppet. We got the head done, we got the body done, we got the spines done. We will now start finishing up the tail and details, spray painting the spines.
He managed to keep characteristics from the old movie and put them in this and revamp it in its own way.
Creating a large puppet like this is a real challenge because you really got to stick to the design you originally wanted. I feel like I really got it spot on, even probably better than the sketches I've done of it. You know, just being alive, while on the other side of those mountains, people are just getting trucked over. I wanted to make the story strong and deep, and it expands from the practice storyline to Aaron's alcoholic depression, and a lot of the story generated in this movie will bridge into the third movie in the trilogy. I wanted to make the characters not only interesting, but people you can follow along and just give empathy for, and that is only accomplished by the aid of my voice actors.
Well, in this movie, Raphael takes a focus away from the monster a lot of times and puts it right on the characters. And it's a good thing because he gave the characters backstory.
Most fan films don't focus on the characters. They mainly focus on the monster. But the thing about Mushino is it puts the characters at the forefront of all the action. And, Mushino is more of a background character, but it works very well. It works in Raph's favor.
In this movie, Raphael gives each character a different motive and a different kind of backstory. You have obviously the main practice leader I played. A lot of people really liked his scenes because he had a lot of good dialogue and he interrogated most of the characters and his motives were different. And I just think that this movie was different in the sense of characters.
I feel like Mushino's really different because it actually is really good because of the characters and because of the story. And it doesn't focus too much on Mushino, but you still feel a threat.
And I feel worthless when someone else's dad or their mom or their wife or their husbands or their children, or, what have you, went down with it. I felt it. The torture, the sorrow, the anger.
Basically, Aaron is the one who's immune to fear in Mushino. He's afraid of Mushino, but the thing about practice is he's not really afraid of them because he's already had fear in his life before. When it comes time for his death, he's not really affected by it, and that really, I believe that really affects the practice leader.
For instance, Attack on Eric's character, giving him a backstory of alcoholism and children and family, definitely diving you into the character, and then when you see that character die, it makes you feel for him.
As we know, the practice leader's goal is to cause true fear from the inner soul on people, but Aaron is that one guy who has taken all the hits in his life, who doesn't show it at the point of his death, and that's what drives the practice leader insane.
the worst feeling a human can ever have, and that is fear. Imagine the worst evil out there that could possibly be. Imagine the purest moment of dread and realization that all evil is coming from all sides and nothing, not even the slightest bit of hope, no friend, no family, no God, can protect you from what's coming.
Well, when I had Kaijuzilla tell me about this character, like I wanted to be in this movie originally when I seen the announcement for it and everything when I came in the fan base. But when he told me that I was cast as the main villain, and I already had quite an obsession with villains in movies. I idolize villains in movies, so I was quite excited. And seeing Kaijuzilla do his work in past movies, I was pretty excited for what he's going to do this. The practice leader's motivations were just to set terrorism around the world. He was a Nazi.
When I wrote the character, I immediately knew this is Nerfman's role, no one else's, because you need to have that shade of brutalness in you, so I knew this was his. And the reasoning for this villain to be in the movie, because at numerous points, he impacts the story heavily, even in ways people haven't noticed, that sets up so much for the next movie.
He had motivations from Hitler. In the new age of the world, he wanted to show that once again. He wanted to bring out people's worst fears. I found the character very interesting in that way, that he broke down people in a sense. He gave inspiring dialogue to a lot of them, showing them that he's for real. He's not just this psychopath, but he's very intelligent in a sense. He kind of knows what he feels. He reads a person in a sense.
In the end, Practice Leader's ideology eventually infects Drake's mind, and I made him also have a split personality to add more tension, like in the Desert Massacre. And he knows his job given by Hitler to bring the whole world down, to put not only a bomb, but a beast.
Oh, Scheisse.
You know, watching all the reviews, this is definitely everyone's favorite scene because I obviously give homage to Raiders of the Lost Ark, but I've always wanted a scene where someone burns alive in Mushino's mouth, because that's the science behind Mushino. Before he shoots his red photon beam, he sucks up the air and it transforms into yellow gas, and that melts the skin of people.
What is up, guys? This is Kaijuzilla 621. It's April 23rd, like Indiana Jones scene, where the practice leader gets his face melted off. I have all this wax here. The eyes, I'm making the eyelids right now.
There he is. There's that.
Ooh. Doesn't look like the most handsome guy, but trust me, this will look so good once it melts.
Look at everything we got set up here. Give me a break, man.
Mushino, in my eyes, is the first of original films I do. It gives a background message on humanity's eager persistence of certain countries being first, and because of political and religious drama, that controls them, and then it controls them to abuse nuclear weapons for the last scenes in the movie.
With fan films on YouTube. Now, don't get me wrong. If you go out there and if you make a fan film, then you already deserve recognition for it, because you're actually going out there and getting it done.
I'm glad people enjoy it, but that doesn't stop the fact that I know myself the flaws in it, so that's why I want to push and make my future films more advanced and innovative, trust me.
Revolution begins now. Right now, right this second.
That's what you're not getting! It's gonna be the whole world!
Accept it. Accept your damn death.
Mayday, camera 1-2 gone, head to failure. Time straight ahead, stand by.